We're the last of the die. What happened to the soldiers that stood up for something instead of all these punk thugs that's no good for nothing? All these sissy ass crybabies that wanna play the victim, they just do it for attention. Better pull up your damn britches, boy. I ain't saying that I'm perfect, but I refuse to be worthless, so I choose to keep on working on myself as a better person. And you're the type that'll talk bigger, big shot with a soft chin. Oh fuck boy, better calm down when you talking with some grown men. You're the type that got loose lips, you show a gun but don't shoot shit. You act hard but don't do shit. Fuck you and your crew, bitch. You're the type that'll go to jail, then call your girl up raising hell. Talking about you need canteen, tell that dude to go fuck himself. Especially what he did to you, or that bullshit that he put you through. Lying, cheating, put his hands on you. Fuck that dude, you too damn cute. Don't waste your time on a fuck boy. Don't spend a dime on a fuck boy. Don't sit and cry for a fuck boy. Never ride or die for a fuck boy. This is for my soldiers. I'm showing love and all them good old boys raised on shotguns in the backwoods by the rivers and the creeks. Man, we practice what we preach. We the last of the dying breed. This is for my soldiers. I'm showing love and all them good old boys raised on shotguns in the backwoods by the rivers and the creeks. Man, we practice what we preach. We the last of the dying breed. We the last of the dying breed. We're the last of the dying. I'm the type that don't speak a lot, don't ask for much and don't need a lot. These pussy boys, they everywhere. Goddamn, I done seen a lot. They call the cops every chance they get. They want the smoke but can't handle it. You call the cops on me, boy, better tell them to bring an ambulance. Cause I'm the type that'll handle mine. If you want some too, better stand in line. I've been ready for that bloodshed. I'm a bloodhound from the Florida pine. I'ma tell you once, you pussy boy, I don't fuck around, you better know this. Come to my house without a doubt, I'ma hit you out this whole clip. Or if I'm buying groceries and you fuck boys try to approach me and I got my kids with me, you better act like you don't know me. Just walk on by slowly, might turn me back to the old me when nobody could control me. I don't ever call the police. I do not play that bullshit. If I say shit, then I do shit. Might fuck around and go stupid on you fuck boys and lose it. Don't waste your time on a fuck boy. Don't spend a dime on a fuck boy. Don't sit and cry for a fuck boy. Never ride or die for a fuck boy. This is for my soldiers. I'm showing love and all them good old boys raised on shotguns in the backwoods by the rivers and the creeks. Man, we practice what we preach. We the last of the dying breed. This is for my soldiers. I'm showing love and all them good old boys raised on shotguns in the backwoods by the rivers and the creeks. Man, we practice what we preach. We the last of the dying breed. We the last of the dying breed. We're the last of the dying. Man, you can't support shit. You about as sorry as it gets. You got a pocket full of dope. You need your fucking ass whipped. You better feed them damn kids and quit taking all them pills. Better find your ass a gig and try to catch up on them bills. And if your girl do the same shit, she lame as fuck too. But you the man of the house, so I still blame you. Don't waste your time on a fuck boy. Don't spend a dime on a fuck boy. Don't sit and cry for a fuck boy. Never ride or die for a fuck boy. Don't waste your time on a fuck boy. Don't spend a dime on a fuck boy. Don't sit and cry for a fuck boy. Never ride or die for a fuck boy. Yeah, man, we the last of a dying breed, baby. Come on, come on. This is for my soldiers. I'm showing love and all them good old boys raised on shotguns in the backwoods by the rivers and the creeks. Man, we practice what we preach. We the last of the dying breed. This is for my soldiers. I'm showing love and all them good old boys raised on shotguns in the backwoods by the rivers and the creeks. Man, we practice what we preach. We the last of the dying breed. We the last of a dying breed.
Hey, brother.
What's going on, man?
It's one of them weekends, man.
Yeah, it was a long week, but it wasn't a bad one. I just had other things I wanted to do other than work.
Hey, I feel that, man. I'd like to hit the lake, to be honest with you.
I got to do what I wanted to do yesterday. I got to go do some shooting.
There you go, man. There you go. I wanted to do some shooting today, and the wife said, "Nope, don't do it. I don't want you to.
I'd like to do more shooting than what I do, but price of ammo, I just limit my shooting just a little bit, you know.
Well, I mean, I've got plenty of 223, which is cheap as crap, but yeah, my actual go-to cartridge, I'm trying to save up on, and I actually have to zero it in differently than my 223. And
Uh,
anyway,
I like shooting exotic guns, you know, the ones that are expensive as hell to shoot.
yeah, I can't fucking afford that shit. I'm
Neither
just
can
saying.
I.
I'm just saying, bro. I wish I still had my old 30-06 I used to have back in high school, man.
Yeah,
Uh,
I've had a couple 30-06s. I keep thinking I need to add another one to the collection.
I miss mine, man. I miss mine. I miss it. Um, I actually should have a few other calibers up here where I live just to be prepared for whatever happens, but I don't. And yeah, that's my fault.
Yeah, my go-to hunting gun is usually my 30-30, my
Hey,
Winchester.
30-30s, yeah, 30-30s. Hey, but damn, they're a damn good 30-30 is expensive.
I mean, it ain't the most powerful round. It ain't a long range round or nothing, but it does what it needs to do. It kills all day long, and I don't know, something about that Winchester Model 94 30-30. I just really like that gun.
Joker, yeah, bro, man. 308. I can't say nothing about a 308.
Yeah, when I bought that drilling, that's that double barrel shotgun with the rifle barrel underneath it. I was
Yep.
actually going to buy an M1A that day, and I ran across that drilling and decided to buy it instead.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was.
M1A, man. You turned
Yeah,
down an M1A? Wow.
yeah, dude. I got a obsession with them old guns, you know, like them drillings and double barrel rifle elephant guns and
Yeah.
stuff. I'm obsessed with them. If I find a good deal on one, I just can't walk away from it.
Yeah, but damn, an M1A, man. Oh,
I'll get one day. A couple times I've been in the process of buying one and then bought, you know, I could have bought one for the same price as I paid for them two Cape guns, but I had to have them Cape guns.
I've seen a few people that have built their own M1A, but a real actual M1A, dude, mm, that is probably, if I had to say,
It's a
what?
sweet rifle.
Oh my God,
I
yeah,
had a I had a BM 59 that well I built it. I took a one of them damn it, Century Arms International 30-06. It was a 30-06 M1 Grand, and it was just ragged as hell. You know, it was thrown together with so many different parts. Not one part was matched that rifle. That's what Century Arms International does. They just build cheap rifles, and I
right,
paid 400 for it, and I ended up cutting the barrel threads back. I don't know. I think it was a half inch, and rethreaded it, put it back in the receiver, rechambered it out to 308, and then converted it to use um, M1A, M14 mags. So basically, what I built was a cross between an M14 and an M1 Grand. They call them BM59s. They were actually making them for a minute. And I should have kept that rifle. I mean, that rifle at
wait a
200
minute,
yards, you could blast a softball every single time at 200 yards. It was just a really good rifle.
ain't
But
that ain't those rifles nicknamed Frankenstein?
yeah, well, that one was, like I said, that one was it was a mess when I got it. That's why I got it as cheap as I did, you know.
But you got it working, right?
Oh yeah, when I got done with it, I mean, it was damn near match grade rifle, you know. The the chamber area, the throat of the chamber area was blown out, and then the muzzle was last couple inches of the muzzle, the rifling was blown out. just from years and years of it being shot, And so when I did is like I said, I cut the shoulder back a half inch, cut the chamber back half inch, rethreaded it, and I cut I think 4 inches off the barrel. I made it an 18-inch barrel, and then rechambered it for 308, cut a new chamber in that, and then I had good rifling after that, and it shot good. I mean, it was just a good shooter.
Right. Right. And just so you know, I don't have my camera on because
That's fine.
I didn't get my timing correctly, and I don't have a shirt on. So I mean, I don't want to scare nobody. Just saying.
Yeah, I get it, man. I should turn my camera off so my ugly face don't scare everybody.
Oh, dude, come on now. So, all right. There's a lot of shit going on in the world right now.
Oh yeah.
What's the biggest what's the biggest topic going on right now that's right there on the back of your mind that
Dude, I'm just so burned out on all of it, I mean, I did a couple little short videos on the Bud Light thing, but I mean, dude, this country is just so damn woke. And the people that aren't woke, I don't know, man. This country's going to crash and burn. I give up, dude. I'm that old man that just wants to be left alone. I don't even give a shit anymore.
I'm
They
sorry.
can burn it all down as long as they leave me the hell alone,
I'm sorry. Damn it, Mama Bear. Shut up. We're trying to talk serious talk now.
Oh, now come on. Let her be a smart ass.
Hey, dude, she's been giving me hell all day.
Well, you probably got it coming.
Oh, shit. Damn it. You're supposed to be on my side.
Dude, hey, I'm married. I know how that works. Everything that goes wrong is my fault.
She's not my wife. No,
she's not?
No, that's Mama Bear. That's my sister in our family.
That's right. Your wife is Mickey, isn't it?
No, my wife is Sunrise Dawn.
Dude, I can't keep track. You call this one Mama and that one this and that.
Mickey's Mama. And then the rest of them were brother and sister. Yeah.
All right. So your wife don't go in the chat then?
She does, but right now she's talking to our son.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've never met your wife, so I wouldn't know who she is. You know what I mean?
Oh, no, yeah. But that was comical.
Well, like, my daughter, when she goes in the chat on one of my channels, she don't use her real name. So,
Right. Like, well, I mean, I know who my daughter is when she comes in.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I know who my daughter is, but you wouldn't know who my daughter is.
Exactly. Well, I don't know. My daughter's name is Hillbilly's daughter.
Oh, yeah. No, I try and keep my kids and wife and that out of the political light. Just because when I mean, you remember me and you talking back when.
Yeah.
Back when BLM was burning everything down and that, we were going up and standing in front of buildings and protecting buildings and stuff. And then the national news, the Washington Post, New York Times, they were posting pictures of us, calling us all kinds of racist and terrorists and that. And then the local news stations were reporting us as violent extremists and that. So when I started my YouTube channel, I decided not to use my real name in case anybody recognized me. And sure as shit, once the channel started getting bigger, I started getting I remember you, I'm going to kill you and your whole family, stupid shit, in the comments and the emails.
And guess what? It's going to happen.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't care. I mean, I'm not hard to find. I tell people all the time,
Exactly.
I mean, I've done meet and greets. I tell people, hey, I'll be at such and such place at such time. If you want to hang out, come up, hang out with me, different gun
Shit,
ranges, or if
dude,
somebody really wants to find me, it ain't hard to do.
these internet trolls piss me off so bad, man. That
See, they don't
at,
piss
at
me off.
oh, they piss me off to the point where they talk so big and bad that I actually tell them where I'm at. Bring your ass on,
I
which
don't
was
tell them like
stupid.
where my house is. I
Which
don't
is
tell them.
yeah, which is stupid. I know.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
I mean, I don't tell anybody where my house is for the most part, just because all it takes is that one psycho that is psycho enough to try.
Well,
And
then that will be one fucked up dead psycho.
yeah, but if I ain't there, who knows what's going to happen. But I
Well,
mean, I tell people all the time when I'm going to be out in public where I'm going to be. So if they want to come hang out or whatever, come on. I don't get pissed off at the trolls. I kind of did when I first started the whole YouTube thing. Now I just laugh at them because
there's
you
my
know
wife.
they're ignorant, dumb as
There,
fuck.
there's my wife.
What's okay? I'll remember that name.
Yep, that's my wife. That's my sweetheart.
Yeah.
Even though she smacked me upside the head 5 times because of Mickey.
Well, I don't know
Anyway,
what to tell you there, man.
no, that's just family fun, man. We've had a good day today, dude. We've had a
Every
good day. We've got a great community that we just have fun.
man, I try and make every day a good day. I mean, I have my bad days now and then, but
Everybody does.
I just kind of been backing away from the politics, as far as I'll put out a video here and there, but honestly, unless something really big pops up and, on the YouTube where that's all you see, like the Bud Light thing,
Yeah.
I really haven't been paying a lot of attention just because it just pisses me off and then my day goes to shit. And, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, and
I
I
don't,
can attest to that because
yeah,
that's all I do, man. I'm
I've been,
always in the news.
yeah, see, I've been putting out a lot of gun content because my gun content makes me happy. I like building guns and shooting guns, and it makes me happy. And then, you
I
know,
do too. I do too. I built my. I mean, I milled and everything. My AR-15. I did
oh,
every bit of
that's
it.
that's good, man. I tried to
Yeah.
do that on one, and it worked out okay. But I was just like, man, machining out that lower is more work than I want to do. I can go buy one for $50, brand new.
Mm, I'm not going to say no more than that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got buddies that are like, you should machine them out, and this and that. And I'm like, look, if they want my shit, come get it.
Right.
I mean, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Everything I got's legal. Everything. I'm a law-abiding citizen. If you think you're gonna come take my personal property
I'm a
when I've
law
done
abiding
nothing,
citizen until they make me a felon. And
it's like I
when
told somebody else, you know, I just don't care no more. You know what I mean?
exactly. Well, no, I can't say that. Ah, I spoke too soon. I do care. I do care. I really do. Um, see, and I know you don't want to go political, but
No, 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 dude. I'm just saying that's why you don't see a whole lot on political
no,
videos. I have been putting out a lot out. I mean, I don't
well,
mind talking about it. It's just I can't
the
be on it every
direction,
day, all day long. It just gets to me and it wears
right?
on me.
Well, the direction our country's going today makes the Constitution and the Bill of Rights so much more important. I mean, that
But see,
we go
that's
ahead.
where me and you differ. We don't have any constitutional rights anymore because nobody's going to stand up and defend them. I mean, you look at COVID, dude. COVID was the big eye opener for me. I used to believe that Americans would stand up when the time came and that, and when they ordered people to stay home and don't go out, and people did it, and they told people you have to wear a mask, and people did it, and then they made up excuses. They said, well, it just makes other people feel better, this and that. I came to the conclusion that we don't. The only rights we have are the ones that they allow us to have until they decide to take them because they don't fear us. These politicians do not fear us. They know they control us. People are so worried about getting in trouble and this and that I mean, If they tell you get in boxcars, most of this population is going to line up and get in a boxcar because they're going to be afraid of getting in trouble. They're going to be afraid of this or afraid of that. And it ain't like our founding fathers. Our founding fathers, they sacrificed everything. You played that video that one time. You know, most of the founding fathers ended up dead, broke, penniless, homeless, and everything else because to fight in the Revolutionary War, they financed that with their own personal property, their own personal wealth.
Facts.
And there's nobody in this country that's going to do that now. People will not. I mean, dude, how many people you know still watching? I mean, they bitch about woke agendas, they bitch about this, but they're still watching the Super Bowl because they want to watch football. They don't care if they lose their rights as long as they get to do what they want. How many people you know still drinking Bud Light after all that shit? Because, well, you know, they try and justify it. Well, it's cheap, you know, or hey, I like the taste of it. So they're willing to sacrifice their beliefs, their morals, and everything else because they don't want to stand up. People won't fucking stand up. I mean, and I love you. You know I do. And you know I love the fact that you're so passionate and you'll post up like it's time to wake the lions up, this and that. These motherfuckers ain't going to wake up.
Then they're not lions.
No, and what's going to happen is people like me and you are not going to bow down. And what they're going to do is they're going to roll up and they're going to Waco or Ruby Ridge our asses. And all these people are going to talk about how they stood up, but the people talking about how me and you stood up, they ain't never going to stand up, dude. You know? And I'm prepared. If it comes down to that, where I get Waco or Ruby Ridge, then so be it. It is what it is. I'm good with God. I try and be a decent person in that. If God calls me home today,
it's my day.
Be it. You know, so be it. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be all right. You know, I'm just, I have given up on Americans standing up for their fucking country. There'll be a handful, you know. When I say a handful, there'll be 400,000 or 500,000 maybe, but it'll be 1 or 2 people here, 10 over here, 100 over here, and the woke military, these police that took a knee to BLM, and these politicians are just going to roll in with their fucking tanks like they did Waco, and they're going to burn your fucking house down with you and your family in it, and then they're going to roll on to the next people that want to resist because the majority of America ain't going to stand up. That's just where I'm at. I hope I'm wrong, but I seen it with COVID. I heard all these people bitching about, I'm not getting the jab. I'm not getting the jab. Then when they thought they were going to lose their job, they ran right out. Didn't even wait for it to play in the courts. They ran right out, stuck that arm out, and said, give me that jab. I can't afford to lose my job. Or just like right now with the pistol brace rule. Man, a week after they announced it, people were lining up to register their pistols as SBRs. And people are still doing it. They're not even waiting until, you know, the last couple weeks. I mean, you got until May 31st to do it. And I mean, they're already lining up to do it. They're not even going to wait until middle of May to wait and see what's going to play out in the courts. They're just, oh, you know, I'm not going to risk losing my rights. I'm not going to risk losing my freedoms. You know what? I'll take that fucking brace off and dispose of it and run it with a fucking buffer tube with no brace or nothing before I ever comply with their bullshit and register my shit as an SBR.
And you can do it just efficiently.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, it's going to suck. I probably won't even shoot them much anymore because without the brace, they really do suck to shoot. But you know what? I'd rather fucking put it in a safe and not shoot it anymore because it sucks to shoot than to comply with their bullshit and fucking go along with it. I'm just not going to do it, you know? But too many people, you know, just like tomorrow, if they pass a law tomorrow where every single gun had to be registered or you'd be a felon,
my ass.
90% of Americans would take every gun they got and run down as fast as they could to the police station. Register this, please register it, you know?
You think I built my shit from scratch for nothing? Hell no.
But no, you know what I'm saying, man. The majority of the people are never going to fucking stand up. I gave up on that thought. And like I said, the ones that do, it'll be small little bands, and they're going to Waco or Ruby Ridge them. They'll either drive a tank through your house and burn your house down with you and your family in it, or they'll sit up on a hill somewhere and shoot your wife and kids like they did Randy Weaver, Ruby Ridge, and try and shoot you to get rid of you. You know, so be it. It is what it is. I mean, I've never committed a crime, or at least I got caught. I'm not a felon, so they can suck my dick. You know, I've been obeying laws, but there comes a point where, you know, people need to either stand up, or you might as well just go beg them to put you into camp right now and gas you. And that's where we're heading.
And that's where we're heading. Yes.
People are gonna line up. They're gonna get on that train and they're gonna walk themselves right into them fucking gas chambers. When I say gas chambers, they're gonna walk themselves right into them 15-minute cities, and they're gonna be slaves. And they're gonna do it willingly. They're not gonna have to go round people up. People are gonna willingly go do it because, well, you know, I got a family. You know, I got a job. I can't afford to lose my job. I can't afford this. I can't afford that. Yeah, well, you know what? When your kids are living in slavery, thank yourself for not having no fucking balls.
Facts. Facts.
You know?
Look at this.
I'd rather be dead than to be a fucking slave.
Look at that. What do you think about that?
It's never going to happen. You'll never get enough people to do it. I mean, it's a great thought. I wish it would, but it's never going to happen. COVID was a test. The
Yep.
government used COVID as a test to see who would comply and who wouldn't. And they found that the majority would comply, and now they no longer fear the people. And they never
Right.
will fear us again because there's not enough people to stand up.
There's too many sheep.
I don't
There's
even
not
call them
enough
sheep
wolves.
anymore. They're fucking cowards, man.
Well, they're sheep.
You know?
And there's not enough wolves. Our wolves are becoming sheep. I don't know why, but
Like I said, I'm to the point where I'm just that old man that wants to be left the hell alone. And if everybody leaves me the hell alone, there won't be a problem. You know what I mean?
I get it. Yep.
Because, like, realistically, I've got buddies that still want to go out to these rallies and they still want to do all these Second Amendment rallies and that. I'm done with all that shit. Every year we have a Second Amendment rally in Michigan, and every fucking year you got millions of hunters, millions of gun owners in the state of Michigan, and we're lucky if we can get 500 to 800 people show up for the Second Amendment rally. So that tells me right there, there's probably 500 to 800 people going to stand up in the state of Michigan, and the rest are going to just do what they're told. You know?
Look at that one. Look at That's Mama Bear, man.
But you know what I'm
That is
saying, dude?
Mama
I mean,
Bear. I get it. No,
the
I
people
get
that watch the people that watch this channel, the subscribers that watch this channel, they're not going to be slaves, and they're not going to be sheep.
No,
But
they're not.
realistically, like if they fucking hit my house tomorrow, there's not a damn thing I'm going to be able to do about it. They're going to come
No.
in force, and it's going to be me and my wife, maybe one of my kids, my dogs, and that.
Unless you reach out.
But you're too far away. By the time you got here, it would be over. You know what I'm saying? So, and they know this. See, they know this. They know that there's people that will stand up, but they know that we're so spread out and so far apart that they can steamroll over this one before anybody can get there to help them, and then they'll just move on down the road, steamroll over this one before anybody can help them until there's none left. There's no resistance left.
Wow. It's interesting that we got onto this.
But you see what I'm saying?
No,
I mean,
I do. I get it.
If you think I'm wrong, tell me.
No, wait
you
a
don't
minute.
have to agree with me.
No, I get it. I understand. But you're making me see it differently than. See, we've been talking about this all day long in our little family group. Because we're family. I mean, we've got. Yeah, we're far apart. Wow. Yeah, that makes sense.
But I mean, if they hit your house, they're not going to give you a day or 2 days or 3 days worth of warning because they know you're not going to cower down. They're going to come in with a tank, drive it right through your fucking house, take you and your family out before anybody can get there to help you. and then they'll go to a different state and do that, and then they'll come back when nobody around you is expecting it and hit the next one.
I'm just gonna be honest with you though, bro. It'll be nice for Tank to come up here silently without waking my ass up. I'm
Right, but I'm just
just
saying. I
saying,
mean,
you know
you
what I
know what
mean?
I'm saying, dude. I mean, realistically, the best thing people like me and you could do is just, if you know they're coming, hear them coming, disappear into the woods or whatever. But
And
you're not. I
protect
mean,
yours.
you're not going to get in a standoff with them and win. You're not gonna. You know,
No, because there's more of them than there is
it's
of
not
you.
even that.
Best
But
thing to do.
they're gonna have MRAPs or
Yeah,
armored Hummers or
yeah.
whatever.
The best thing to do. The best thing to do is fucking hit the woods. Um, I mean, Mama Bear's been here at my house. She knows.
But you
All
know
we
what
got
I'm
to
saying,
do.
man. 1776, it ain't gonna happen. It's done too late for that. That's why people get mad at me, and I mean, I don't care. They can get
Fuck,
mad at me,
fuck
but
it.
you
I
know,
mean, we're
I tell
assholes,
people,
right?
yeah, I tell people all the time, 1776 ain't gonna happen. This country's gonna collapse.
It
All
is.
you can do is try and hold out. Don't draw attention to yourself. Don't go on the news talking about come and get it, come and take them, Molon Labe, don't tread on me. Just sit back, keep your fucking mouth shut, be quiet.
Don't
When
be
it's all
like me and AR.
when it's all said and done and everything collapses, all these fucking liberals that have depended on the government to take care of them, that have never butchered a deer, don't know how to process their own meat. They don't even know how to fucking fillet a fucking fish. They go to a restaurant every day to buy their food. All these welfare people that have been living off the government for 20, 30, 40, generations, 50, 60 years,
They can't make
generations
it.
of welfare. These
They can't
people are
make
going
it.
to these people are going to attack their own government when their government no longer can help them out because their economy's collapsed and there's no fuel, there's no money, there's no nothing, no food. The grocery stores are empty because the trucks can't deliver it, man. And when it goes full on Mad Max, just sit back, keep your mouth shut, be quiet, let all the people take each other out until it's a small enough where you and yours can take care of business. And then like a house, you've heard me say this, a house catches fire. There's a
Yep.
point where the house is too far gone. You just let it burn down completely and rebuild from the foundation up. Our country is a burning house. In my opinion, it's too far fucking gone. Now you just gotta let the whole motherfucker burn to the fucking ground and rebuild on the existing founding fathers' foundations.
Yeah.
And that's where I think we're at.
Liberty Ninja says, read about the founding of our country. It was a small percentage that fought. Absolutely. Guess what?
Right.
It was
Yeah, but
three. It was
what people don't
3%.
right, but people read that in the history books. What they don't tell you in the history books is yes, it was 3%, but that 3% was being funded by the French. It was being funded by other countries too, and was
Facts.
supplying weapons and shit. The founding fathers, the Revolutionary War, they were fighting with the same weaponry, the same cannons, the same guns as the
Yep.
British and everything else.
Yep.
Now we have nobody. The entire world hates fucking America.
Yep.
You're going to be out there with your AR-15, and the military's going to be out there with motherfucking mortars, rocket launchers, grenade launchers, tanks, fucking planes. If you get too fucking frisky and they can't get you, they're going to fly a fucking Apache in or a fucking jet and bomb your ass or whatever. It's
Shit,
not,
they'll just
you
use a
cannot
drone.
compare what's going on now to 1776. 1776, there was other countries that hated the British that were helping our founding fathers to defeat the British because they hated the British. Now everybody fucking hates America. Hell, if we have a civil war here, Russia's probably going to bomb us. China's probably going to bomb us. Libya, Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan. Shit, we ain't going to be fighting amongst ourselves. We're going to be fighting the whole rest of the world because the whole rest of the fucking world hates us.
I agree. But
You know?
guess what? It's just like right here. It's just like right here. We still can't give up, bro. We can't
I'm
give
not
up.
giving up. I'm just to the point where I've given up on other people. I'm never going to count on other people to do anything. The only people I'm going to count on is me and mine. the few people that I trust with my life, I'm going to count on. These sheep, these lions, sleeping lions, these sleeping wolves, I'm not counting on any of them because them motherfuckers ain't never going to wake up. Them motherfuckers done ate the whole bottle of sleeping pills. Their goal is to sleep through this, let a few dumb motherfuckers like me and you go out there, risk everything. And if we pull it off, me and you, then they're going to run out at the end and say, yeah, we were a part of it. Look at us. Yeah, we did it. And if it fails, they're going to say, hey, I didn't know that motherfucker.
You're right, man. You're
I'm
right.
dead serious, man.
No, you're right. Um, yeah, okay. Guerrilla warfare. I don't know about guerrilla warfare. But yeah, guerrilla warfare does work.
Well, all right, and then
But
people say, well, look at Afghanistan, look at Vietnam. Yeah, our military couldn't beat them, but they couldn't beat our military either. So what, are we going to live the next 200 years? The American patriot as a guerrilla warfare fighter in the mountains and this and that. I
well,
mean, you know what I mean? You're going to be
uh,
hunted for the rest of your life. You're going to be
yep,
hunted as a fugitive.
yep, yep.
What
You
kind of
will
life
be.
is that?
You
And your kids are going to be fugitives because they're
so,
your kids.
but what do? Do you bow down to it, man? Do you bow down?
Like I said, no, I'm going to worry about taking care of me and mine, my people, and you know what? The rest of them can all jump on that boxcar and they can walk themselves into them 15-minute cities. I'm not going to go looking for trouble, but I'm sure as hell not going to join the fucking woke and go live in 15-minute cities and have to ask for permission to go to a different city to see a family member or nothing else. I'm going to live like the fucking pioneers did, off the fucking land the best I can. And I'm going to do my own thing. And if they come for me, then they come for me. If they don't, they don't. I'm not going to worry about it no more. I'm not going to worry about anything. I'm going to do what I have to do. And you know what? It's in God's hands, you know?
Yeah.
But as far as, me going out there and marching on the Capitol and all this and that, perfect example. How many people are going and fucking beating down the jails that J6 people are locked up in trying to free their, everybody's talking about how the J6 were patriots and this and that. I don't see nobody fucking fighting for them. I don't see anybody fucking trying to break them down or nothing else and get them out. Everybody talks. And that's why I quit with the prepping, and that's why I kind of quit with the politics and all that. Every once in a while, I do a political video on a pissed off American, or I come on here and do them with you because I like having discussions with you. But the prepping videos, I give the fuck up, man. All it is a fucking fairy tale that people want to fucking believe in. The same thing with the whole 1776, we got to stand up now. It's just all bullshit talk. Ain't nobody going to do a fucking thing. So, you know what? There's enough channels out there spreading we talk about fake news and we talk about propaganda and all that. There's enough people out there spreading all that 1776 shit and all that ain't never going to happen. What I'm worrying about doing is taking care of me and mine. The few people that I trust with my life that are close enough to be around me, we're preparing for when everything collapses. And you know what? If
It's
the
going
fucking
to.
if the mobs of fucking mostly peaceful protesters come through and start taking people's shit from their houses, all these people that live around me that talk, but not one of them ever showed up to a Second Amendment rally. Not one of them ever showed up to keep a building from getting vandalized or burned down. I'm not going to go defend them. Fuck them. Where were they when I was being called all kinds of bad shit on the news and that? Where were they when I was out there standing in front of buildings? Where were they when I was at the Second Amendment marches and that? They were all too busy going to fucking football games. They were too busy going fishing. They were too busy doing this or that. So, you know what? When their houses are being overrun by mostly peaceful protesters, I'm going to be too fucking busy to give a fuck about them.
I can honestly, what do you call it? I agree with what you're saying because I mean, I was there. Uh, yeah, I was left by myself, even though I was told that, yeah, man, come on. And yeah, just anyway.
Where were all the patriots when Kyle Rittenhouse was getting chased down by mobs of people that wanted to kill him? Where was all them people at that were standing around them buildings now? When it got nasty, they all took off, ran and hid, and left old poor Kyle Rittenhouse to himself. And that's what'll happen to me and you. We go out there and try and stand up. All these fucking pussies are gonna run and fucking hide and leave me and you hanging out there by our fucking selves.
By God, I didn't kneel.
But you know what I'm saying?
I do. I do.
There's a
By
whole,
God,
you know what? Hey,
I
like my
did
daddy
not
used to
kneel.
say, talk is cheap. And you can go on YouTube and find a million motherfuckers talking 1776 and shit, but ain't none of them going out to rallies. Ain't none of them standing up or nothing else. So you know what? Fuck them all. I'm done with it. You know.
Well, yeah, yeah. No, yeah, I get it.
I mean, I don't mean to come across as an
No.
asshole.
Hey,
It's
well,
just,
hell, I'm an asshole, dude.
but no, you know what I'm
Hell.
saying? I'm not going to perpetuate the lie. I could go on a Pissed Off America. I could come on here and I could preach 1776. We need to stand up. And I could watch the channel just like my old channel, AR American, you know, the original one.
Yep.
That motherfucker blew up at one point. It was 21,000 subs. It went from
American.
yeah.
American.
Well, it was A American, and then there was an author with that name that I didn't know about, and that name was actually trademarked, and that's why I had to switch it to AR American.
Okay, all right.
But you know, I mean, I was preaching because I believed in all that. I was all 1776. We need to stand up, this and that, and I went from 176 subscribers to 12,000 in like 8-10 hours. And then over the next couple months, I was 1776 this motherfucker and that, and it got all the way up 21,000 subs. Yep. And then you know what? When they fucking, and I told people, I got a strike. They're gonna kill this channel. Go to Rumble. Check me out on Rumble. Go to the backup channel, AR American backup channel, and subscribe.
Hey, can I tell you what I think about all that shit? I'm just being honest.
What's that?
I'm just being honest.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying, man? You know, I had all these smaller channels. You know, hey brother, I believe in what you're saying. Help promote my channel. I'd promote their channels and that. And when it all fucking when YouTube took my channel down, all them motherfuckers that I promoted in that, now them motherfuckers won't even speak to me. They're like, oh, you ain't nobody. You don't even have 1,000 subscribers.
All right. I do.
I mean, you didn't do me that way.
No, fuck no. But I mean, hell, I'm a small guy. I don't give two shits about the subscribers.
Right, but you know what I'm saying, man. You know, these YouTubers, you know, people are like, you know, a few people have come on and they've been like, dude, you know, you sold out. All you talk about is old cowboy guns and them European guns and this and that. You don't do AR videos anymore.
Who gives a shit?
You know what my attitude is? I'm hanging out with the communities that actually support people. When my channel got took down, you know who told everybody where to find the new channel? The Western guys, Plowboys Ghost, 11 Bang Bang, The Snapper, all them guys, all them AR-15 channels, AK channels, 1776 channels. Not one of them would even talk to me. They were all right. We don't want to be associated with him. He got took down.
I want to say one thing real quick. Slim Reaper, bro, militias. First off, you're trying to get us in trouble.
No, I'm part of a militia.
No,
but you know what?
But you know what? Just saying.
I'm just saying. Out of the militias, there's probably 50 of them in fucking Michigan. When all that shit went down with BLM and that, as soon as them brothers got hit in that plot to get the governor, and they got framed. But as soon as that happened, man, all the militia groups in Michigan went into hiding. The only one out there was ours, and there was 10 of us out there. Everybody else was disappeared. Everybody else went gray man, whatever. So, yeah, don't count on the militias because 90% of them are all fucking talk like 1776 and shit, you know?
Hey, Brother Cheek, how you doing?
Hey, look, hey, AR, I love you, bro, and I agree with you.
All right, I'm going to mute.
I'm not going to say 100%, because there are a lot of like-minded individuals, but I think it's gonna take um, something to happen for everybody to be like, all right, fuck it, we're getting together. Like enough is enough. You know what I mean? Like
Dude,
that straw that broke the camel's back.
I don't think you're gonna. And like I said, I hope I'm wrong. I hope, man, you guys come back someday and say you were a fucking idiot, didn't know what the hell you were talking about. But like I said, after COVID, when people were forced to wear the mask, when people were forced to take an experimental drug and they did it. Now, if you wanted to take it because you thought that it might be better for your health or whatever, I totally understand it. I'm not giving anybody shit for taking it. What I'm saying though is when people willingly put their arm out there and took it because they were afraid of losing their job, they were afraid of not being able to go to a football game, not being able to go to a restaurant. Do
Right.
you really believe any of them people are going to stand up if they think that they might get killed? I mean, they wouldn't even stand up for that. They're sure as hell not
Well,
going to stand up if bullets are flying.
well,
But
I
hold on,
can honestly, I
I
can.
understand that the money situation. You know what I mean? If somebody's a nurse, I totally understand that shit. But me personally, no, I didn't. And my company offered, hey, we'll bring the bus, we'll get y'all vaccinated. And I look at my boss, my owner, and I was like, I'm not getting vaxxed, and I hope you don't have a problem with that. He was like, no, man, that's your right. I'm not forcing
Dude,
it.
me
Cool.
and my wife said right from the get go, we'll live in a cardboard box in a fucking alley before we take that shit. We were prepared to lose everything we have.
Yes, so are we.
I had a
But
little girl, man.
but
I had a little
90% of
girl.
America wasn't willing to take that risk. If 90% of America wasn't willing to take the risk of losing their job and not having any money, do you really think they're going to risk getting killed when bullets are flying? I mean, maybe
I
I'm wrong. I don't see it happening.
Well, I can tell you that. All right. Oh, she might get mad at me, but it is what it is. My wife works in the medical field, and yes, she was dictated that she had to get it to keep her job. If she did not get it and lost her job, I would have lost everything, and my children would have been.
And brother, I'm not
But
judging
I,
you
but
or
I'm
your wife.
telling,
I'm
but
just
I'm
I'm just
telling you,
saying.
my wife will stand toe to toe with any motherfucker coming against this family.
Oh,
But
100%.
what I'm saying is I understand, dude. I was fortunate enough my kids were all grown. I can sit here and say I was prepared to lose everything and know in my heart I was gonna do it. Now, had I had young kids at home, I don't
Might have
I'm
been a
not gonna sit
different
here and
story.
bullshit you. I'm not gonna sit here and bullshit you and tell you that if I had two, three, four young kids at home, that I was gonna risk their well being. But I'm just saying, dude, even if your wife stands up, it's you and your wife, and maybe even if you got 25, 30 people close by that can help you out, what are they going to do if these motherfuckers roll tanks and shit in? You're not going to get the whole fucking town or the whole
Well,
city or the whole county or the whole state
No,
to
I agree.
stand up.
It's not going to be like Afghanistan where
no, it's
they're
not.
giving them a run for their money because we were there trying to fucking push our, you know what I mean, belief and all that shit on them. And
Yep.
they're a third world country and they weren't having that shit. And they gave us
Right.
a run for our
How many of you have seen, I've seen at least 15, 20 TikTok videos of actual soldiers saying, if we declare martial law and you come out your house, you're the enemy. Or there's another one that just
Well,
popped up,
by
a
God, you
TikTok.
better get to
Hang
my
on a minute,
front
hang on a
door
minute,
first.
hang on a minute. There's another TikTok video that just popped up recently of a soldier, I think she was a sergeant, saying that the United States should just go confiscate everybody's guns, that the only people that need guns is the military, this and that. Now,
Good luck.
right, these people are in the
they
military. They have access to tanks. These people have access to planes. They have access to rocket launchers, grenade launchers, fully automatic machine guns. They have night vision. They have that what is it, infra or not infrared,
clear,
that stuff that
clear,
tracks heat, you know.
clear.
What FLIR, yeah. All right. So even the Patriots in Michigan, if all the Patriots stood up, how many of them got night vision? How many of them got a armored Hummer or an MRAP? How
How
many of them
many?
got a
How many
helicopter?
actually need? How many
You
actually need this equipment? Because
well,
a lot of us live in the backwoods where we can see
But
in the
you
dark.
can't hide from that FLIR in the backwoods. It'll pick up heat signatures and forests and shit. That's what I'm saying is, and let you know, when we went to war in 1776, we were fighting the British with the same equipment that the British had.
Yeah.
A civil war now, you're fighting a military with the best equipment in the fucking world, and you got shit but a
Field.
semi-automatic, or maybe you converted your AR to fully automatic. You don't have the. I mean, I got night vision, but mine's first gen. We don't have FLIR. We don't have fucking Apaches with miniguns on them and shit.
Right.
They'll fucking come through and blow the whole fucking forest up to get you if they want you. I mean, you've already seen. Look at what they did in Waco. Look at what they did in fucking Ruby Ridge. Net. They don't give a fuck about you, your constitutional rights, or nothing else. When they say this is the new law, you're now a criminal if you don't follow it. And that's why I'm saying people aren't going to stand up, because they're just not going to. They haven't yet, and I don't believe they are now. And the ones that do, like I said, they're going to Waco you
I'll be
and
right
me.
back. I got a phone call.
You know, they're going to Ruby Ridge you or Waco you, just like they're going to do me. And then that'll be the end of it.
I agree. I agree 100%.
Or you just go completely off grid. You avoid confrontation, because once you confront them and they know where you're at, they're sending in the army and everything else.
Yep.
And you sit back and wait until it's all said and done and everything's collapsed, and then you crawl out and you fucking rebuild. The people that are left rebuild and build something, and don't ever allow it to be corrupted like it is now.
Right.
Because, like I said, I don't believe that. Honestly, I don't believe there'll ever be another 1776. I just don't believe you'll get enough people to stand up. And you sure as hell, you know, if we didn't piss off every country in the world, maybe some other country would drop equipment off to the people fighting in the Civil War against a corrupt government. But we've done pissed off every country in the world. Ain't nobody giving us shit. Hell, they're probably sending their own people in to fucking try and take all of us out, you know?
Yeah, I agree. And you're right. 1776 happened. It was a even playing field. Now it's not
Yeah.
even.
Hell no, it's not. It's not even close to even. Shit, we might as well be out there with fucking paintball guns compared to what the military's got. I mean, just look at your local police forces. These motherfuckers look like fucking Iraq and Afghanistan soldiers, but dressed in black instead of camouflage. They've got the body armor. They've got night vision. They've got motherfucking SBRs and machine guns. And you know, your SWAT teams are running full automatic fucking rocking machine guns and shit, you know?
My local sheriff department, they're all kitted out in camo, and they have an MRAP and all.
Yeah, so I mean, you see what I'm saying? You're not. It's not an even playing field. The 1776 idea is a nice idea, but that's all it is a fucking idea. It's not even. There's no way you can do it unless some other country decides that they still care about the American people but hate our corrupt government and supply us with shit. There's no way we the people are going to do anything.
Well,
because we could, if every fucking American, every patriotic American would just say fuck it and stand up, there wouldn't even have to be bullets fired. They would outnumber everything so heavy that, you know, it would work.
I think for like the quote unquote 1776 shit to work, you would have to like strategize, plan, pre-attack, and all that shit is just, you know,
All right, but
smoke.
all right, there's another thing. How are you going to do that? How are you going to communicate? Even if you had 500,000 patriots all spread out guerrilla warfare style, how are you going to get them all to communicate, to plan together, to do things together?
Yep. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I mean, you can't use a cell phone because they can intercept anything you send on a cell phone. You can't. Everybody's like, well, get a ham radio, get a Baofeng.
Intercept those.
The guy that trained me in special, you know, he was a special force, you know, he was in the special forces. The guy that was training me and when I was in the group military training and that, he wouldn't own a Baofeng. I asked him why, and he said, dude, in Afghanistan, we used to sit for days just monitoring communications traffic. And then He said these fucking Taliban, they would fucking start communicating. We'd triangulate where they're at and bomb the fuck out of them.
Yep.
You know,
You're
like I said, we're not playing on the same field that these guys are. They have stuff that we don't have. There's no way, unless you would have to have everybody stand up together. You would have to go to these politicians' homes where they were afraid for themselves, their families, this and that. And you'd have to have 500,000 people because, and if they were spread out, there's, you know, if you add up all the military together and shit, they can't spread out far enough to get everybody and take everybody out. But because nobody will stand up except for a small group here and a small group here, they can take us out. You have to have everybody stand up at the same time, and you'll never get that.
right. You're right.
You know, it is sad. It's really sad because I remember I grew up in the '70s, and I remember as a kid being able to go camp out in the woods. I remember as a kid being able to go down to the lake in town. You know, there was a small lake in town and go fishing. I remember being able to do all kinds of things, go down to the store by myself and buy a candy bar or something. You didn't have all these predators and pedophiles and trainees and all this crap out there fucking with kids and that now. You know, and the sad part about it is them people are protected by the same government that people want to stand up against, you know.
Yep.
So, like I said, our kids will never enjoy the safety we had as kids. I mean, I don't know your age, but the safety I had as a kid, my kids and grandkids never knew the safety of being able to go fishing and not have to worry about some creeper trying to abduct them or some shit, you know.
Yeah, I was born in '86, and man, we didn't lock our doors the longest time. We went fishing. I came home. My parents didn't question where I was as long as I was home before the streetlights came on.
Yeah, I mean, but my kids kind of had that out in the country where I was at, but I still didn't want them up close to the road where somebody drive by could snatch them and take off, you know.
Right. I mean, yeah, there's
But
still
they could go in the woods and stuff, you know, behind the house. I had plenty of acres for them to run around on. But like my grandkids, I wouldn't let my grandkids out of my sight even on private property now. There's so many damn weirdos and perverts out there in that.
and it's gonna get worse because, like you said, they're protected. You
Yeah.
know, you hurt a fucking a cho, and if you know what a cho is, right? I don't want to say the whole word.
Yep. Yep. I know exactly what it is.
Fucking hate crime. Well,
Yep.
so I'm gonna get in trouble because I dislike and I hate these motherfuckers. That's wrong.
But
They should.
if they hurt your kid or your grandkid, well, they're protected because, you know, well, it's not their fault. They were born that way, don't you know?
I know. Yeah. An old remedy, man. A bullet will fix
But
that
like I
shit.
said, you know, I mean, I'm not trying to shit nobody's Cheerios. I know everybody. Hell, I want there to be a 1776, but I'm just realistic about it, you know.
So, what do you think is gonna happen
I honestly, this is
with the?
what I think is going to happen, and just based on what I'm seeing, you've got Russia and China now united. Saudi Arabia is united with China and Russia. They're cutting oil production. Look at the price of gas in the last week, how much it's went up.
Yeah.
Biden has sent so much of our oil reserves over to Europe and then put so much of it out here on the streets trying to keep gas prices down that honestly, I think these countries are going to band together with this BRICS and they're going to do like we did all these other countries. They're going to sanction countries. Anybody that sides with the United States, sells oil to the United States, anything else is going to be sanctioned. They're going to isolate us. And I think what's going to happen is because this administration is so fucking stupid, they won't let us pump our own oil out of the ground or nothing. Our grocery stores are going to run out of shit because there ain't going to be no trucks to deliver it because there ain't going to be no fucking fuel in that. And these
Right.
other countries, honestly, what I think they're going to do is they're either going to sit back and when it all collapses, they're going to watch us kill each other off. And then they're going to come in when there's very few of us left. And that's what I think is going to happen. I think they're intentionally going to just completely collapse the United States because they know right now, like if China tried to invade the United States, 90% of Americans, because they're not going to be worried about going to jail because your U.S. government's going to do like they did over in Ukraine, the Ukrainian government, they're going to be handing everybody guns saying, you got to fight for your country and that. So you're going
Right.
to have so many people with so many guns. No country is going to invade the United States right now. They're
No.
going to have to wait until the United States is weak. Well, how are you going to weaken the United States? Make the dollar worth absolutely nothing so no other country wants to use it. And then tell the other countries, if you help the United States, if you give them anything, you can't get oil because
Yeah.
90% of the countries out there rely on Russia and Saudi Arabia for oil.
Yeah.
So they
Choke.
say we're not selling oil to any country that supports the United States. Fuck, they're going to turn their backs on us because we've done already pissed off so many countries anyway. And I'm telling you, I think in the next couple years, this country is going to collapse. It's going to be full on Mad Max. People are going to be killing each other for a can of beans.
See, I heard 2025 we're going to war with China, but I
Dude,
don't think.
there ain't no way. If they do this BRICS thing like it's looking like, there's no way we're going to make it till 2025. I got a feeling by middle of next year, you watch and see. We're not going to be getting oil from OPEC or Saudi Arabia or Russia or anywhere else. There ain't going to be no fucking oil for the United States. Did you see what France just did?
No.
France just went over and met with Xi Jinping, the leader of China.
Oh,
He
fuck.
hadn't even been back to France for a day, and he was like, "We're neutral. We're not getting involved in it. The shit with America and China and Russia and all that. We're out of it. We're not getting involved in it."
See.
And then there's been a couple other smaller countries like over in Africa and that have
Mhm.
met with Xi Jinping, come back and told their people in their countries, start getting rid of your US dollars now because here soon you're not going to be able to use them. It's going to be worthless.
Wow.
So I mean, China and Russia are turning the whole world against us because we've done pissed everybody off, sticking our nose in it, trying to force our beliefs and everything else. And believe it or not, there's no other country out there supporting all this homo shit, faggot shit, tranny shit, and all that shit like America. And most of these other countries don't want that shit in their country. And when China and Russia says, look, America's evil, they're fucking evil, this and that, these other countries are going, yeah. And they've been dictating to us what we can do for so many years. Fuck America, you know?
Yep. Yeah, you're right.
But hey, man, I'm just this is just my opinions. I'm just a dumbass redneck, so y'all think for yourself, because I ain't nobody, you know?
Hey, bro, your voice. I'll listen to your voice. You know what I mean?
But I ain't got no, hey, dude. There's prepping channels out there every day. They got to put out videos like this is the end, nuclear war tomorrow, this and that, and a certain one. I'm not going to mention any names, but he's always like, inside sources say this, inside sources say that. I don't have no inside sources. I'm just looking around at everything that's going on, and I'm thinking outside the box. If I
Right.
was Russia, if I was China, what would I do? And then I see what's going on, and I'm like, well, the United States is weak. Now's the time to strike on them, cut them off from oil, cut them off from this, cut them off from that. If you cut them off and then tell all these other countries that don't like America anyway, they just went along with it because they needed the US dollars to buy shit.
Right.
I mean, what is it? The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah.
Well, when
Very true.
we've made enemies in every country. I mean, we've overthrown legitimate governments. We overthrew the legitimate government of Ukraine. We overthrew the legitimate government of Lebanon. We overthrew the legitimate government of Libya. We went into Vietnam and tried to dictate their country. We've went into Afghanistan and Iraq. Hell, we overtook Iraq and put the government we wanted in there. We tried to do it in Afghanistan and that. And then we've threatened other countries where if you deal with China or if you deal with Russia, we're going to cut you off and this and that. I mean, we don't have a whole lot of we're making enemies everywhere we go,
Yeah. And
And what did they,
fucked up our
and
government
what did Biden think? What did Biden think when he said he was going to cripple the oil industry and we're going to sanction them and all this and that? And then he goes a couple weeks ago asking, or well, I don't know, it was a couple months ago, asking fucking Saudi Arabia and OPEC not to cut oil production. You've been threatening these motherfuckers for years. Now you're going to go over there and ask them, hey, don't do this. They're like, fuck you. You've been threatening us for years, motherfucker. If you get your ass beat every day by a bully, and then all of a sudden a new bully comes into town, and that bully's like, "Hey man, I need your help." Are you gonna go help the guy that's been beating your ass for fucking years?
Right. Yeah.
I
You're
mean,
right.
think about it. You think anybody is gonna fucking help us when we've
Nope.
been going around and kicking, being a bully to all these other countries
Yeah.
for years and years and years, and now all of a sudden things are getting tough and we're going to go ask them for help? You think they're going to help us? Fuck no. They're going to be the ones fucking sticking that knife in our back when we're not looking and twisting it, you know?
You're right. And then that's the problem with our government is, I think they feel they're, well, I'm not gonna say our government because our soldiers and shit don't feel like this, but our higher ups feel that they're the elite. You know what I mean?
But
They are so powerful, but they're not.
but even most of your soldiers now are woke. Any of them that weren't woke, they were refusing to take the vaccine and getting kicked out, or they were leaving. Like I know half a dozen soldiers that were planning on making careers out of it for the rest of for their lives. And since the Biden administration took over, when their time was up, they're like, "I'm out. I don't want nothing to do with this woke ass shit."
Yep.
You're not going to have military that are going to support, people are like, "Oh, in a civil war the military is going to back the people." No, they've ran any decent military people out. They have a woke military that will do whatever they tell them now.
Yep. I got a buddy
Um,
out, and he wants to get out too, and he's over in Afghanistan doing a
Yeah,
fucking.
people are like, "Oh, well, the military took an oath. They won't violate that oath." The ones that wouldn't violate it are either gone or they're trying to get the hell out of the military. The only
Yep.
thing you're going to have left is the woke ones that would happily kill every one of us because they call us names and everything else anyway.
Yep.
um,
Right.
guys, I've got to get off here.
Hey, no problem, man.
Um,
Everything all right?
no, no, Nana's dead. She died.
Oh shit, dude.
And
Hey, you go. Don't. Hey, just go take care of family. If you need anything, brother, call me.
hey, Cheekbuster, you got it right.
Yeah. I'll shut it down a little bit. I want to talk to him. He's good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
me and him.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
me and him can piss everybody off, and hell, by the time I'm done, we probably won't even have no subscribers left.
Who cares about subscribers, right? But again, I love all you, and
Hey, give me a call if you need anything, but go take care of your family, man. You got to do what you got to do.
all right,
Love you, bro.
everybody. I love y'all.
All right, brother. Call me if you need anything that I can help
Absolutely.
you with.
Absolutely.
But no, getting back on it, brother. Like I said, I hope I'm wrong, but I just try and see a lot of people, they want to think about things on an emotional level. Our government wouldn't do this, our government wouldn't do that. These patriots, these military people won't do this, the cops won't do that, this and that. I try and think on everything as, and I'm not saying that I'm smart or nothing else. I'm a dumb son of a bitch, so I'm just giving you my opinions. But I try and think logically, like, all right, we've done this to all these other countries. Can we count on them to help us? I'm not counting on anybody.
Nah, you're right.
And then, and another thing that drives me nuts, why I kind of quit doing videos, I just do old cowboy guns and shit now, is I love how people say, "Look at these Republicans are fighting for us," Jordan and this one and that one and all that, Gates and all that. Well, you know what, man? All them politicians were in 2016 when Trump got elected. We had a Republican president, Donald Trump. We had a Republican controlled Senate and a Republican controlled House. They didn't try to ban it or abolish the ATF back then when they could have done it. They didn't try and go after social media for censoring people when they could have done it. Now you got all these fucking politicians like Gates and Jordan and all them talking about abolish the ATF. We need to go after social media for censorship, this and that. The only reason they're doing that is because they know that there's no chance of ever passing any of that shit. If there was a chance of passing it, they wouldn't say nothing because, everybody talks about right and left. Well, what's a bird got in common? A bird's got a right wing and a left wing, but guess what? They're both connected to the same body. None of these politicians, none of them, Republican, Democrat, Independent, Liberal, none of them give a fuck about me and you, because the only people that get voted in for politicians are rich sons of bitches that will go along with
with the
what
pro.
other rich politicians want.
Yep. Yeah, they'll do what they're told.
And if you get one that won't play ball with all the rest of the corrupt politicians, they'll run his ass out of there.
Yep. Well, I mean, look what they're trying to do with Trump, and he did a lot of fucked up shit, like with the bump stock, and just like
Dude, I don't trust anybody. I mean anybody as far as politicians go. I don't trust Trump, but I will say that my life was a whole lot better when Donald Trump was president than it has been when Obama, Bush,
Yep.
Biden, or any of these other Clinton, any of these other fuckers were president, you know.
Yep. Yeah, we were making more money. We weren't spending as much.
Well, and we had less infringements. We didn't have any new wars. I mean, fuck, I was paying less than $2 a gallon for gas.
Yeah.
Now
No.
I'm averaging $3.75 for gas, you know. We didn't go into any new wars when Donald Trump, and like I said, I'm not a Donald Trump's god or nothing else. I didn't like Donald Trump, but I didn't vote on him or vote for him because I thought he was a good guy or anything else. I voted for him because I thought he would do the best job.
Yeah.
He did a good job as a president. He did things I didn't like he was for red flag laws. He banned bump stocks. Like I said, I'm not going to sit here and say Donald Trump was the greatest thing ever. I'm just going to say that he was better than anything we've had in the last fucking 25 fucking 30 years, you know?
Yep. What do you think about DeSantis?
I don't trust him. Just something about him. I mean, he seems to be doing a good job, but like with the Ukraine thing and that, he's flip flopped a couple times on that, you know.
Me personally,
So,
I don't think Ukraine. It's not our business.
no, hey, I
You know?
feel bad for the Ukrainian people.
Yeah,
I feel
100%.
bad for the Russian people. Hell, I feel bad for the Chinese people. But you know what? It ain't my fucking problem. I got enough shit to fucking deal with in my own country to fix before I should be worrying about going to other countries and trying to fix their problems, you know?
Yep. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, like you were saying, they ain't gonna come help us.
Fuck no, they ain't gonna. Hell,
Yeah.
they'd probably attack us just because everybody hates us,
Yep.
you know? And like I said, I hope I'm wrong, dude. I really do. I just don't think I am, you know?
I hope you're wrong too, but then again, I don't. I don't personally want to see a civil war, but I would like our government to understand that, we have a say. We need more power as the people.
But people that are in power are never going to give up power,
Oh, fuck no.
and you'll never get the people. You would have to have the majority of Americans stand up in order to make a change, because your government has to fear you, or otherwise they control you. And our government does not fear us in the slightest bit. We're a fucking joke to them.
Yeah.
Because when a few people stand up, they just lock them up and call them domestic terrorists like J6, or like the plot to kidnap the governor here in Michigan. When people stand up and make a little bit of noise, they just arrest them.
Yeah.
And nobody does anything. Everybody bitches about it and cries about it and complains about it. And they say, constitutional rights, you're violating our constitutional rights now. But nobody's actually going to go out and do anything other than bitch and complain about it, you know?
Yeah.
I
You're right.
tried going out and doing something about it, and I realized real fast that nobody was coming. And it was just me and a handful of other people. And if we kept doing what we were doing, we were going to end up in some cell too, being called fucking domestic terrorists, wherever. And I'm not going to go spend the rest of my life in a cell or dead trying to stand up for people that won't stand up for their own fucking selves, you know?
Yeah. Or have your back while you're doing it.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
dude, like I said, Michigan, I don't know. I'm going to guess there's 3.5 million people in Michigan. I'm just guessing, you know? Right. Now, Michigan's a huge hunting state. Huge hunting state. I would say at least 65 to 70% of Michigan are gun owners. But yet there's a Second Amendment march every September at the Capitol in Lansing. And I've begged people to go to that. And I go every year. I've been going for years and years and years. The most I've ever seen there, I think, was 1,500 people probably. Usually it's like 400 or 500 people. when your politicians are looking out of them windows and they see 400 or 500 people, even 1,500 people down there protesting for their Second Amendment and that, out of a state full of millions, do you really think they're afraid? When they look down out them windows, they laugh at us and they say, these people don't give a fuck about their rights. We could trample over this small little group like it was nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
But yet the same people that I was like, hey, dude, you know, I could name 100 people I've asked to go to the Second Amendment march personally. I've told them I will come pick you up and drive you. And oh man, I can't get the time off of work. But then football season rolls around, and because Michigan's a big football town, you know, Detroit Lions, University of Michigan, man, them motherfuckers can take every Friday off to start tailgating early.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, money's not a problem. They can afford to take time off to go party and play, you know, watch football games and that, but they can't take one day off to go stand up for their own Second Amendment rights. I'm done fucking talking to, you know, to people about it. I'm done trying to wake people up. People want what they want, and standing up for their rights is not what they want.
Yeah, you're right. You definitely changed my view on a lot of shit.
I'm not trying to shit in nobody's parade.
No,
I'm just trying to be realistic. I'm telling you what I see. Where you live, your state may be different. In my state, ain't nobody fucking standing up. I'll bet you right now, if the Chinese invaded the fucking state of Michigan right now, I'll bet you couldn't get fucking 5,000 people out of 3.5 million to fucking stand up. The rest of them would sit in their houses waiting for the government or the police to come fucking save them.
And they're not going to save them.
Everybody's waiting for somebody else to do it.
Yep.
And like I said, if somebody else does it, when it's all said and done, if that somebody else wins, they're going to come running out. I supported you. I was all with you, this and that. And if that somebody else doesn't succeed and they end up dead or in prison, they're going to be like, nope, I didn't know who that guy was. Nope.
Yeah.
Not
Even though
me.
it was an uncle, he didn't know shit.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's sad, dude. I mean, literally, this started. I mean, these fucking politicians with their woke agenda, they're not stupid. This shit started in the 60s, you know, with the hippies and free love and all that shit. And it escalated into communism. And then, you know, back in the 70s, it started with the gay rights. In the 80s, we started late 80s, early 90s. The gay people just wanted to get married. That's it. You know, and everybody's like, you know what, just let them have their marriage, this and that. And then now it's not even about marriage. Now it's men want to be able to use the girls' bathroom, and you know, guys want to cut their peckers off, and now they want to they can't reproduce. These fags and these fucking trainees can't reproduce. So now they want to bring your kids into it and turn your kids into the same thing they are because they can't reproduce more fucking freaks, you know?
Yep.
And like I said, this probably, a lot of people don't like how I'm not going to sugarcoat shit.
I like that.
You know, I look at it this way, you know, and I know this is mine and Hillbilly's channel, and that's why I don't talk like this, because I don't want to fuck his channel up, you know what I mean? But I don't give a shit about subscriptions. I don't give a shit about likes. You've never heard me in a video say like, share, subscribe, or nothing else, because I don't give a fuck. If you like it, you will give it a thumbs up. If you like it, you will share it. If you like it, you'll subscribe. And if you don't, get on down the fucking road, because I don't want you here anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, but even in my gun channel, you'll never hear me say, oh, hey, man, give me a like, give me a share, give me a subscribe, because I'm not going to, you know, and I have nothing against channels that do that, but I'm not begging anybody for anything. I ain't never had shit in my life. Everything I've ever got, I worked my ass off for. I ain't never begged nobody. I ain't never begged nobody. I don't ask people for shit, and I'm not about to start begging or asking now, you know?
But see, that's the difference between a real person who actually goes out there and busts their ass versus a motherfucker who, you know, wants to sit at home and just make videos and you know, like, share, subscribe, and then make money off of that shit.
You know?
But what
it's like on my gun channel, I had people get pissed off, a couple people, because people will ask me, how can I support? Well, first, people used to ask, how can I support the channel? I'm like, I don't know, watch the videos, you know. They're like, well, you need to start a Patreon. So I started a Patreon. Then when I started Patreon, they're like, well, you got to tell people about it. I'm like, no, you know, I'm not going to sit there every video. Hey, go jump on my Patreon or whatever. If somebody asks how can I support the channel in the comments, I'll give them a link to the Patreon. But I don't post the Patreon link every fucking video on that because I'm not begging for nothing. If somebody offers to help the channel out, great. But I'm not begging anybody for anything. I'm not. It's not me. I've never done that. I'm not going to. You know.
Yeah, I agree
And I
with you.
don't have anything against channels that do that. I'm telling you, this is how I feel. This is the person that I am. This is why my wife says I'm a fucking idiot and I'm an asshole, because I'm very opinionated, but I don't force my opinion on other people. There's channels that are monetized. Great for them. You know, they're putting in the work to make the videos. They're taking time away from their families. If you want to go get monetized, go get monetized. I don't care. Me, if I get monetized, then I'm going to feel like I have to censor myself or I'm going to lose that money, because I'll get dependent on that money just like you get dependent on any monthly income. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I'm not going to censor myself. There's no amount of money in the world worth me censoring myself. There's no amount of money in the world worth me giving up my values, the way I feel, you know, about certain things. I don't care if you're fucking gay. My wife's got friends. I've got friends that are gay. I don't give a fuck if you're gay. But don't tell me that I have to accept it and say that it's okay. It's not okay. I'm not going to say it's okay. You want to be gay? That's fine. Do your own thing. As long as you're not trying to force it on me, do whatever. I don't give a shit. You want to be a cross-dressing tranny? Do it in the privacy of your own home. Don't show up to my house that way. I don't care if you're a fucking tranny, but you know what? You don't see me running around with my pecker hanging out. You know, I don't want to see your shit. I'm a Christian. You don't hear me you don't hear me in every video telling everybody, if you don't believe in God, you're going to hell. You don't hear me saying, if you don't do this, you're going to hell. Because my religious beliefs, my relationship with God is between me and God. I have no right to force my religious beliefs on anybody else. I have no rights to force any of my beliefs on anybody else. But they don't have the right to tell me that I have to accept their shit either.
Right. Yeah, you're right. So this guy said the government is killing us a few at a time and no one cares. Why?
And he's absolutely right. Like I said, I could stand up, I could do a video and say, F you to the government, come and get me this and that. And they'd show up to my house and Waco my ass or Ruby Ridge my ass. And there wouldn't be anybody coming to save me. And that'd be the end of me, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't preach that shit no more, because I'm like I said, I've gotten to the point where I've give up on this fucking country. Not on everybody, but on the majority of this country. And I'm just the old man that wants to be left the fuck alone. I'm the old man that when the kids run across his lawn, I'm like, get the fuck off my lawn, you know?
Right.
Just leave me in my little area alone, and I don't give a fuck what the rest of the world does anymore, you know?
Yeah.
Because I can't change it. I tried, dude. I tried for a couple of years. I was taking a day, sometimes 2 days a week off of work, going to rallies, going and standing in front of buildings, protecting them. I spent a year doing YouTube videos telling people, you got to stand up. We got to take this country back. We got to do this. And I had thousands of people giving likes and thumbs up, telling me, yeah, we got to do it. But nobody did anything. And I just got to the point where I was like, you know, we're living in a fairy tale land where people actually think that this is a movie or something. And at the end of it, good will prevail and evil will fail and this and that. No, the only thing that stops evil is good men, and good men are not going to stand up. So evil will prevail in this world.
Yeah. It's already prevailing.
Yeah. And all it would take, literally, is for every single person that believes in the Constitution, if every single one of them just stood up and said, enough is enough, then it would put fear in the politicians. But too many people look the other way. Too many people are doing this. I didn't see nothing, or this. I didn't hear nothing, or I didn't say nothing. And hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. And that's why we're where we're at today, because people will not stand up. And I,
Yep.
like I said, I tried standing up for a couple years, and I'm just to the point where I give up. I have lost faith in this country, and in a large majority of the country. I mean, I see people like you and Hillbilly and other people out there, and they're not doing it for money. They're not, promoting buy this fucking um, survival food or you're gonna die. Don't. They're not out there saying buy my prepping gear or you're gonna survive or die or whatever. These are people who are just going, hey man, this country's falling. My kids got to live in this country. It's time to stand up. They're not asking anybody for money. They're not trying to sell you nothing. They're just wanting people to stand up, and people won't do it. We're outnumbered.
I wish you
You
were
know,
a part of our Discord, man.
I'm going to tell you. I mean, I was going to tell you private, and I keep forgetting. I won't go on Discord ever because the whole plot to kidnap the governor.
Uh-huh.
That whole thing was set up in Discord. Discord has more federal agents in Discord than they do in YouTube and Rumble and TikTok and everything combined. I'd say 50% of the people in Discord are federal agents because everybody has this belief that Discord, you know, is a secure way of talking. It's not. It's not at all. When they took them guys to trial here in Michigan on that plot to kidnap the governor, they had thousands and thousands of pages of Discord fucking content of people's communications and that.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything's recorded.
So you know what? I just don't. If I got something to say, I'll say it right here on a fucking video. I'm not trying to hide anything or nothing else.
No, it's not like we don't talk about that type of shit, but it's just a good community. There's a
Right,
little
but
bit of
if
us.
you get one person, see, that's the thing people don't realize is I used to be one of the people that believed that 9/11 was a terrorist attack, and that 9/11 was set up by our government.
Oh,
Right after 9/11, they started the Patriot Act.
yeah.
I was in a motorcycle club back then, and the Patriot Act I paid attention to because before the Patriot Act, you had the RICO Act. You had to, if you could get three members of any one organization doing something wrong, then you could use the RICO Act to go after the whole organization. Under
Yeah.
the Patriot Act, one person gets charged with, like domestic terrorism. One person gets charged with uh, racial violence, or whatever. They can go after everybody involved in that group. Under the Patriot Act, they don't need warrants to go through your phones, through your computers, to tap your lines or nothing else. So the government will use things like Discord. There was another one, a secured channel, so to speak, when I was in the group that everybody was using, and we found out that that was compromised too. The government loves to use these Discord things. They will put a federal agent, somebody that will talk to you for months and months and months, and then you'll invite them into your Discord group, and all they got to do is just start doing shit like, hey, we should do this, hey, we should do that. And even if
Yeah.
nobody else says anything,
Yeah.
even if nobody else says anything, they can start going after people saying, well, you were part of this group with this person right here that was, asking for violence and this and that.
Isn't that fucked up?
Well, it's entrapment. But see, we don't,
Yeah.
and that's what I say. People are always like, well, we got constitutional rights. No, we don't. They let us think we do. We have no constitutional rights anymore. The Patriot Act, we gave up our constitutional rights, all of them. Our right to search and seizure, our right to privacy, all that shit. We gave up all of that.
Yeah.
And people did it for security, though. You remember? Hey, we'll give up our rights because we don't want another 9/11. We don't want our people getting blown up, this and that. Well, guess what? Now they don't have to do anything. You notice we haven't had another 9/11 attack since we had the Patriot Act and that.
Yeah. What a coincidence.
Probably never will either. And they'll say how the Patriot Act is stopping terrorist attacks. Yeah, okay. Yeah, blow that smoke up somebody else's ass. They're just they set up 9/11 so that they could get the Patriot Act in, so that they could just slowly take every one of us that speaks up out, you know.
Yep. And if you think about it, look how many lives they sacrificed to do that.
Oh, dude, they don't give a shit. Hell,
Nope.
they gunned down Randy Weaver's wife and fucking son. I mean, murdered him. But, you know, I mean, cold-blooded murder over fucking him sawing off the barrels on shotguns too short. And the only reason he did it was because two undercover FBI agents for almost a year, every fucking day, were telling, man, cut these off for us. Man, cut these off for us. Man, cut these off for us. And then finally, he just did it to shut them the fuck up, thinking that they were buddies of his, you know.
Yep.
Look at Waco. I mean, I'm not saying that the Branch Davidians were good people or nothing else. But they said, oh, they've got machine guns, this and that. But they never found any machine guns when they burnt the place down and killed all them. They killed children. Even if the parents were fucking nutcase fucking cult members and that. That doesn't justify killing innocent children, burning them alive. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
Look at the jab. How many kids, how many old people are dying from that? If you think they really give a shit about the American people or they give a shit about life or anything else, man, you are living in a fairy tale. They will kill us off as fast as they can. Hell, the whole we were talking about 3%ers earlier. You remember the whole 3%er movement?
Yeah.
When the Bundys were fighting with the federal government over leasing rights?
Yep.
And Finnegan Lavoie was the originator of the 3%ers. And they murdered him when he was on his way to meet with the governor and the sheriff. The FBI and the ATF and that cornered him before he could meet with the sheriff. He was on his way to meet with the governor and the sheriff, had a meeting with them. They intercepted him before he could get there and murdered him cold-blooded. And then tried to say that he had a gun. And two FBI agents actually went to prison because it was proven that they stuck the gun in his pocket. They murdered him, and the government got away with it. They will murder you. They will murder you without thinking twice about it. They will murder me. They will murder anybody else. And the reason why they will do it is because they do not fear the people. Because just like COVID, just like many of other times, you know, people won't stand up. And until people do stand up, which it's too late now, I mean, they like I said, they do not fear us. If the government does not fear the people, they will enslave the people, period.
No one in our government has a soul, no empathy, compassion, or
Oh,
sorrow
hell
for.
no. Hell no. They're corrupt, evil fucking people. And, you know, people get pissed off at me. I've lost subscribers on my other channels and that because, you know, I say Jim Jordan, Matt Gaetz, all of them, they're blowing smoke up your ass. They could give a fuck less about your rights, or they would have done that shit back in 2016 when they controlled the presidency, the Senate, and the House.
Yep.
But you know, they only talk about doing shit when they know that nothing will get done. They'll never bring up that kind of shit when they have control. I get people pissed off because I say I'm not ever going to vote again. And they're like, well, you have to vote. No, I used to believe in that. I used to be one of them people that believed you had to vote. But after the 2020 election and then after the midterms, and it proved to me that there's no such thing as honest election. And I'm not going to play a part in promoting a fraud. You know what I mean? And I'm not telling anybody else not to vote. I don't tell other people what to do. If I did that, I'd be no different than these liberals and these Democrats telling people what to do. When I say I will never vote, I'm saying I will never vote. My wife, on the other hand, she will vote every election, and I will take her there, and I will stand outside to make sure nobody harasses her or nothing else, because that's her right to vote. And if she wants to vote, I'm going to support her in any way I can.
Right.
It's just I'm not wasting my time anymore, you know.
Well, I think that shit's rigged anyway. They put who they want in power.
Absolutely, man. I think Donald Trump was a wild card. I think they didn't think he could win.
Mm-hmm.
And now that they know he can win, that's why they're doing all this shit to him. because they don't want him in. He don't play by their rules. I
Not at
mean,
all.
he's
Business.
another he's another rich guy. He's always going to make sure he looks out for himself and his family first. Anybody would. I would do it. You would do it. If we were all rich people, we're going to make sure we look out for ours first. But he's not playing the same fucking game them guys are. I
No.
don't believe that Donald Trump is evil. I believe that he's a rich man that's going to look out for him and his family. And if he can do a little good, he'll try. And if he can get away with fucking some people over, he'll do that too. He's a human being. You know what I mean? I'm not the Trump is God person, and I'm not the Trump is the devil person, you know?
No, but I believe Trump was good because he's a businessman and he's made millions running a business.
Absolutely. I don't disagree. And like I said, I think Trump had good intentions, and I think Trump did some good things. But I think if push comes to shove and backed in a corner, Trump would sell us out just like anybody would to take care of their own, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're right.
I mean, I'm not living in a fantasy world. I mean, some of these people think Trump is the second coming of Christ, you know. And I'm not in that group, you know. But like I said, that's just me, you know. I mean, my opinions are just that. They're my opinions. And my dad used to say when I was a kid, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one and they're usually full of shit, you know.
Yep, very true.
And so, you know, when I tell you my opinion, that's just it. It's my opinion. I'm not telling you you should think the same way I do, believe the same way I do, or nothing else. I'm just putting my opinion out there, giving you something to think about. I'll listen to your opinion and I'll think about later on tonight. I'll think about things you said and Hillbilly said. And you know what? The next time we talk, you may have changed my opinion. Because I'm not one of them people that I only see it the way I see it and that's it. And I can't listen to anybody else. I'll listen to anybody. I'll listen to a fucking Democrat talk as long as he fucking wants to actually listen to me too.
Right.
I can guarantee you I'm not going to ever think the way a Democrat does. I can guarantee you, I can promise you that he will not change my opinion. But a smart person like you that understands that we're being fucked in that, I mean, I'll listen to your opinion, you know, and you may not believe the same way I do on some things, and I'll think about what you said. And like I said, next time we talk, I may change my opinion on something, you know. I mean, I'm not, dude, I'm just some dumbass that comes on YouTube and tells people what I think. I'm not a fucking genius. I'm not a fucking, I have no inside sources. I'm a motherfucker that barely got a GED, you know? So if you're fucking listening to me for answers, you're dumb as fuck, you know? I don't have no answers. When I tell you this shit, I have not told you one answer since me and you started talking. All I've done is just told you my opinions on questions you've asked me. You know what I mean?
Yep. You're
But
right.
I have not. Have I told you that I think this is what we should do? Have I told you this is what we need to do? No. I said this is why I think that won't happen. You
Yep.
know?
This is my opinion. Yep.
Yep. And like I said, anybody that takes my opinion for gospel needs to find a new religion.
I agree.
Because I'm not no, I'm a regular fucking guy like you guys. I put my fucking jeans on the same way every morning and I go out and bust my ass climbing motherfucking telephone poles, fixing fucking lines and shit for a living. I'm not, if I was smart, I wouldn't be working like a fucking dog at 52 fucking years old climbing telephone poles, you know,
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
tearing my body up
People
and
like you
shit.
that keep America running, though. You know, you keep the power going.
Right, but it ain't smart people. I mean, smart people ain't tearing their bodies up, climbing up
Right.
and down telephone poles and shit. They're sitting in offices making big decisions, making big money, you know.
Yep. Yep.
The problem with our government is our government doesn't think, you know, when I was a kid, I remember in the 70s, these politicians would come on the TV and they would say, as your elected representatives or as your elected officials, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Now you listen to these motherfuckers come on TV and all you hear is, as your elected leaders.
Yep.
Motherfucker, we only have one leader in this country, and that's the President of the United States. The rest of you motherfuckers are not leaders. You're supposed to be representatives. And when you motherfuckers are millionaires, you can't fucking represent the fucking people making 30, 40, 50, $60,000 a year because you don't understand what it's like to fill up a gas tank and have to choose between filling up a gas tank and buying fucking groceries and shit. So
Yeah.
no, these people do not represent you. People, like I said, and people get really, really butthurt. I mean, you know what, man? Pull your panties out of your ass. If you're getting butthurt because I said Matt Gaetz and Jim Jordan are blowing smoke up your ass and they don't give a fuck about you, then you know what? Hey, whatever. I don't really give a fuck. But ask yourself this. They're supposed to be representatives. I can't represent a homeless guy because I don't know what a homeless guy goes through every day to
Yeah,
get
that's
through the
facts,
day.
man.
How the
Yep.
fuck can a millionaire fucking represent a working class people? These people never fucking sweat. They don't buy gasoline. They have a fucking government credit card that they buy their food with. They buy their fucking gasoline with. They buy this with. They buy that with. Hell, they just passed a bill now where because so many of them live in so many different states and they got to go to Washington, D.C., that the government's now going to pay for housing for them so that they have a place to stay while they're in Washington, D.C. These people ain't paying for that out of their pocket. The government's paying for it. We're paying for it.
Yeah,
The
you're paying.
tax-paying motherfucking Americans are paying for it. So you got motherfuckers that can't afford to buy a motherfucking house in this fucking country, but yet they have to pay for a fucking house for these motherfucking rich motherfuckers that can afford their own fucking house. They don't
Yep.
need it subsidized through the fucking government. These motherfuckers are millionaires. They could go buy $100,000. They could go buy a $200,000 house, pay cash for that motherfucker. But no, they're going to make the American people pay for it so that they are closer to Washington while they're working. You mean while they're fucking bending the American people over, shoving that dick all the way up in there and then trying to break it off at the fucking balls because ain't not one of them gives one fuck about you or me. And I don't give a fuck who they are. Rhinos, they're all fucking rhinos. Every Republican in there is a fucking rhino.
Yep. You're right.
It's
You're
just
right.
some of them are real good at blowing smoke up your ass. My granddad used to say all the time, "Don't piss on me and tell me it's raining." And
Yep.
that's what they do. They
I love
piss
you.
on us every fucking day and then tell us it's raining.
Yep.
I
And we
missed that
all,
comment, so hopefully, probably
uh,
saying probably saying a pissed off American's an idiot.
no. Actually, bro, all these are good.
Yeah, your tax dollars hard at work. Yep. We can pay for illegal immigrants. We can pay for politicians to have another house that in Washington D.C. or an apartment or whatever else. Like I said, millionaires making us pay for their shit.
Yep.
I'm obviously a dumb motherfucker. If I was smart, I'd be having motherfucking people paying for my shit too. But I guess I'm not that smart. And that's why my wife says I'll be poor for the rest of my life. Because when I had a YouTube channel with 20,000 fucking subs, I didn't ask nobody for nothing. I should have been going, gimme, 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 gimme. I should have been fucking retired, man. I should have been living on fucking YouTube, man. Fucking calling guns pew pews so I don't get demonetized and I can make money and I don't have to work for a living. You know what? Fuck that. I've worked for a living my whole fucking life. I
But
ain't never gonna take a handout from fucking nobody.
you know what? That's what I respect about you, and that's why I told Hillbilly that you two need to come together because
I
you.
love Hillbilly, man. See,
Yeah.
me and Hillbilly, we think a lot alike,
Yeah.
but the difference between me and Hillbilly is Hillbilly's still full of hope, and I'm done with hope. The only person I'm counting on is me and mine from here on out. I mean, if you guys lived close enough to me, I'd count on you motherfuckers in a heartbeat. But I know if something happens, there ain't no way you could get to me in enough time to stop it.
Michigan's pretty far from me.
So you know what I'm saying? So the
Yeah.
only people I'm counting on basically is my family, and that's it. Because even most of my friends, when fucking shit hits the fan, them motherfuckers are gonna run the other way.
Uh, but I
That's why I don't have
respect.
very many friends, dude. I could probably count on my fingers and my toes all my friends and still have some digits left over. I mean, actual friends that I hang out with, outside of work. Like we go out and do things together.
Right.
I'll bet you I don't have 10 what I call real friends. People that if I called them in the middle of the night, they would get up without hesitation and fucking be there, you know.
Yeah.
My best friend, who was like, you know, like my older brother at the time, one of my best friends. But I had a guy that he was like older brother to me. He was like 8 years older than me. And I could call that motherfucker up now. He worked early in the morning. He was an early morning person. So usually like 9, 10 o'clock at night, he went to bed. And he knew I didn't call him late at night unless it was important. I only called him once one time. It was like 10 o'clock at night. My truck broke down. I only called him late like that once. And the first thing he said when he answered the phone was, tools or a shovel? Which one am I bringing? I said, tools. He was like, good. He was like, because I didn't want to have to deal with the other scenario.
That's
But
real.
he knew if I was calling him at 10 o'clock at night, either I was broke down in a bad way or I
Something
needed
went wrong.
somebody to help me do something that I didn't want nobody else knowing about.
Right. Right.
And either way, he'd have been there. I promise you that.
Yeah.
If I'd have said bring a shovel, he'd have brought two just in case one broke. You know.
It's hard to find like-minded people nowadays, though.
Yeah.
You know?
But you know how many friends I've lost over COVID because I refused to get the vaccine? You know how many friends I've lost because I refused to accept this woke shit? You know.
A lot.
And you know what I say? I didn't lose shit. I just weeded out the ones that weren't worth a fuck.
Yep.
You know? I mean, that's kind of where I'm at with it. People are like, oh, I lost. You didn't lose shit, motherfucker. You weeded out the trash. You know? If a motherfucker gonna turn his back on you because you won't take a fucking experimental drug or because you won't promote fucking evil, you didn't lose nothing. You actually made out, you know?
Yep. Right. See, this is why you need to come on more, you know?
Dude, I told Hillbilly, man, you know, just whenever he wants to do one, if you do it in the evening like this, we will set it up. I just got to know a day or two ahead of time because, like, I probably would have worked tonight, except for I knew we were going to do this and I didn't do it. Right now, I'm trying to work every hour I can work to buy, you know, guns and bullets because I think they're going to try and ban a lot more shit here real soon.
Yeah,
And I'm trying to buy, you know, I'm trying to buy extra food. I'm trying to buy just extra stuff like ibuprofen,
yeah.
just, you know, bandages. I'm trying to stock up on everything because I honestly, I really believe in another year and a half to 2 years tops, we're going to have an economic collapse in this country.
Yeah,
And I got a feeling, dude, it's going to be full on Mad Max after it collapses. And I just don't want to be worried about needing anything. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, that's the same with me. And my girl thinks I'm crazy, and
I
now
want to have
you're smart.
I want to have minimum a year worth of shit put away where I can survive for a year without ever leaving my home. You know?
Yep. Yep. I feel the same way.
And like, you know, and my wife's cool. My wife is right on board with the prepping shit. My wife she's more of a prepper than I am. I mean, she's like, that woman could take a dime and stretch it into a $20 bill.
Damn.
You know? But I mean, she's like, hey, I think we need more of this. Hey, I think we need more of that. And I'm like, well, you know, money's kind of tight right now. She's like, all right, you know what then? Fuck it. I don't need any new clothes this week. Let's spend that money on this or that. Or, you know, my shoes are starting to fall apart, but I can go for another week or two with these shoes, but let's get this or that, you know.
Yep. But that makes that, you know, your wife a different type of breed. A
Oh
person
yeah.
can go without to have more, you know?
But dude, my wife has went without since I've known her. She will make sure that if the kids wanted a fucking video game, she would go without to give to the kids. If I wanted a fucking new gun or a new bow, she would go without to make sure I had what I wanted, you know.
Yeah.
And when she wants something, I try and go out of my way and make sure she's a big video gamer. So like when the PlayStation 5, I think that's the newest one that just come out.
Yeah.
She wanted one, and I was like, okay, let's go get you. Oh no, there's no way we can justify spending that kind of money on it. I'm like, look, shut the fuck up. Let's go get this motherfucker.
Your wife games?
Yeah. Oh, she's a huge gamer.
Damn, bro, that's cool.
Yeah, I've played a video game. If you add up all the hours I've played video games in my life, I bet you it wouldn't add up to 4 hours. I'm the kind of guy where instead of playing a video game, I'd rather build a gun or work on a Harley. You
Yeah.
know, instead of playing a video game, I'd rather be out shooting or riding my Harleys.
Yeah.
I'm actually on a pissed off American because, like I said, I'm getting burned out on politics and shit. I think I'm just going to start doing a series where I'm going to start working on my Harley, putting it back together, and just talk about just whatever's going on in the world. And like right now, me and you are talking, and I'm kind of calming down. I'm not swearing like what politics pisses me off, dude. I mean, that's why I named it a pissed off American. You see me earlier, I was cussing and hands flying through the air, and dude, it just aggravates me, you know.
It angers a lot of people, you know.
And what angers me is there's not a damn thing that the people that want to make a change, there's not a damn thing we can do because there ain't enough of us. You know?
Yep. Yep.
So we, you know, just a no-win situation.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, hopefully I'm wrong, but I just feel like there's no way we're gonna win. You know.
I hope it don't come to that, you know.
But brother, I think I'm gonna probably get off of here unless you got something else you want to discuss, and I'm gonna go home and actually try and spend a little bit of time with that wife that always gives up for everybody else.
Nah, you're good, bro. I'm here ready to make my little one some food.
I tell you what, man, I always love talking to you. I mean, I know I talk to Hillbilly more, but you know, I think you've got my number, don't you?
Yeah, I got your number.
Yeah, shit, man, hit me up sometime. You know what I mean?
All right.
I like talking to you, and like I said, you know, when I look at you and Hillbilly, and you guys still have so much hope. I'll be honest with you, dude. It restores a little bit of my faith in humanity. I'm hoping maybe there's more than just you two out there. You know.
Well, that's why I came on when you were saying that, because we have a lot of people, brothers and sisters, that we talk to on the phone. You know what I mean? Off of Discord, and if something happens, we would be there for that person. You know, and they have the same like-minded thoughts we
Yeah.
have. There
I
is no.
just know, like when they went after them guys, them friends of mine on that plot to kidnap the governor,
Uh-huh.
and they were framed, they were set up. But I know, you know, nobody was going to stand up with them guys. I mean, and I'm 4 hours away. By the time I got there, it was already done. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, I didn't hear about it until after they had already grabbed them up. But there was people that lived close by. There was everybody around knew them, and nobody interfered. They just let it go down. You know.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much the start of my I give up on this fucking country shit. You know.
Well, I hope we can reach more people to, give them a little bit more faith.
Dude, I mean, I'll sit here and talk to people all day long if you want, but you know, like I said, I read I. It's hard for me to read them on this little phone,
Yeah.
but like I'll replay this later if Hillbilly don't take it down, and I'll read through the comments, and I'll be honest with you, it makes me feel better when I read the comments because I think, you know, maybe there is more like-minded people out there, but I just think we're so spread out, so far apart from each other that if something goes down, there's no way we can get to each other in time, you know?
Yep. I agree.
And that's the problem is we got to get more and more and more and more people to stand up so that we're closer together. We can help each other. But so many people, like I said, so many people couldn't take a day off to go to a Second Amendment march because they couldn't afford to take a day's pay, you know, take a day off and lose the pay. But for 2 months during football season, man, they'll take a whole week off to travel to another state to watch their home team play, you know?
Yeah. See, here's Joker, and he said there are more people like us. But just a lot of people don't. Joker will come up, but a lot of people don't like coming up, being on camera, or you know what I
But
mean?
they don't have to come up. They just need to speak out, you know?
Right.
So many people they'll speak out. Like, I'll talk to people, you know, when I'm working. I'll be working in somebody's backyard or whatever, and we'll get into a conversation, and they'll agree with everything I say. But they'll never go out and speak up because they're worried about their neighbors coming down on them. They're worried about being called a bigot or a racist or whatever. I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks about me. I don't give a fuck what anybody calls me. Man, my daughter comes in the house. And I'll be like, "What's up, dumbass?" And she'll be like, "Fuck you, old man." You know, I mean, that's just how we talk to each other and that. I'm
Right.
not worried about what people think about me.
Yeah,
If
me
I
neither.
was worried about what people thought about me, I'd never leave my house. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm white, so I'm a racist anyway. You know.
Yeah, I mean,
Fuck
dude,
it.
I'm fucking. My great grandmother was full blooded Cherokee Indian. You know, but because I look white, I'm a racist. So you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
it's just stupid. It's just stupid, man. And there's so many stupid fucking people. I told my wife we need to take the warning labels off of everything, like wood chippers, chainsaws. We just need to take the warning labels off of everything and just let Darwin have its way, man.
Yeah.
We could thin out so many stupid people just by taking warning labels and safety. You know, take safety caps off of everything and all that. You know,
Yeah. Make sure you sharpen
anybody.
a lawnmower
Then,
blade.
then, then, then the only people would be left is people with common sense.
Yep. Yep.
You know,
Yeah, you're right, bro. No, I
now
you coming up. I really do.
what's that?
But I appreciate you coming up, man. I really
Oh,
do.
dude, I love doing these shows with you guys, man. You know, I mean, when Hillbilly said, "Hey, let's do something together," I'm like, "Hey, man, let's do it." You know, I said, "You come up with the name and that, and let's do it." You know, because I wanted him to be just as much involved in it as me. You know, I mean, I didn't want being because when he first brought this up, I think I actually that was right before they took my old channel down.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want him to feel like he was below me. I wanted him to feel like he was fucking equal. So I wanted him to have just as much a part in this as me. And like I told him, I said, "Man, you know, anytime you want to put a video up on that channel, you don't got to ask me if it's all right or nothing else, dude. This is our channel. You, even if I don't agree with you, put whatever the hell you want on this channel on it. It's our channel, not my channel. It's our channel. You know."
Yeah. He said, "Make wood chipper great again."
Yeah, no shit, man. I'm,
Common.
I'm serious. Take the safety off of everything, man, and we could get rid of the fucking dumbass people. Anybody without common sense, we don't have to do nothing. They'd take care of themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't need. I mean, common sense tells you you don't need warning labels on Tide Pods saying don't eat them.
Yeah. It's common
You
sense.
know, I mean,
My fucking
take the
3-year-old.
warning labels off of everything,
Yeah.
and parents actually do your fucking job and teach your kids not to touch things they shouldn't be touching.
Yeah.
And the stupid people let them eat the Tide Pods or drink the bleach or fucking whatever they want to fucking do. Let them weed each other out. You know.
It's no longer common. It's called horse sense.
Yeah. Well, my dad's been saying. Well, my dad's gone. He died a couple years ago, but from I remember in the early '80s him telling me common sense ain't so common, boy.
Yeah.
You
I've
know?
been told that too.
And when I was growing up, I'd ask a dumb question. You know, being a kid, and my dad would look at me and say, "Boy, remember this. It's better to be thought a fool than to open one's mouth and remove all doubt."
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah. He had
That's
all kinds of good ones like that. He had another one too. He used to say, "Boy, if brains was gasoline, you wouldn't have enough to start a piss ass motorcycle. Or if
you know,
brains was
older people
dynamite, you couldn't
got
blow
good
your
ones.
own fucking nose, boy."
Older people, they got really good old school sayings.
Yeah, my dad was hard on his kids. I mean, I don't think my dad ever called me by my name until I was a grown man and moved out. When I was growing up, it was always, "Hey, dumbass," or "dipshit," "dumb fuck," you know, whatever. So, and that's why I say, you know, I had a guy make a comment in my video, my short I did earlier today. I had a subscriber say he wanted me to shoot a case of Budweiser with my 450 Nitro Express
Mm-hmm.
because he thought he would explode it, you know, because I mean, that's a badass round. It's elephant gun. So I did a little short because actually I had a few people suggest I should do that. So I did a little short to answer it, and I was like, you know, people are suggesting I should shoot Budweiser with my 450 Nitro Express, but I'm not going to do it because I'm not spending, or Budweiser isn't worth $8.35 a round. I said I wouldn't spend the amount of money for 122 shell to shoot a case of Budweiser.
Yep.
I said, to be honest with you, if Budweiser gave me a case of Budweiser, I wouldn't even waste a shell on it, you know.
Yeah.
And I had people
And they're
saying, well, you know, I had people saying that I was an asshole, this and that. I deleted some of the comments, some of them I left. But it was like, one person was like, called me a whole bunch of names, and I commented, and I ended up just deleting them later because they kept doing it and doing it. But I was like, do you really think that hurts my feelings? You calling me names? And then they responded back with something else. I think they called me a bigot or something. I'm like, look, my dad used to call me worse names than that when he was happy with me. You know? And and my dad, when he got old, he apologized for being so hard on me, and I didn't think nothing about it. And he was
Look,
like, I just didn't want to raise no pussies. I wanted my men to be, or my boys to grow up to be men. And I'm like, dude, we're good. I told him when he was dying, he apologized again. I'm like, dude, we're good, man. You know,
yeah,
I got where I'm at today because my daddy didn't raise no pussy.
yeah. See, that's how I am with my kids. I got all girls, and like if I'm changing the blades on the zero turn, they get down there with me. Changing the oil, they get down there with me. So they don't
Yep.
need to rely on another motherfucker to do it. They can do it
Hey,
themselves.
I tried to do with my boys what my granny did with us boys, and then I tried to do with the girls what my grandpa, did with all the girls in the family. My granny made all of us boys learn how to cook, and she made us learn how to sew. And she said, no man should be dependent on a woman. A man should be able to take care of himself. And my pa taught all the girls how to check their own oil, how to check their own trans fluid, how to change tire, this and that. And he used to tell all the girls, ain't no woman should be dependent on a man. A woman should be able to take care of herself.
Yeah,
So when I had kids, I wanted my daughters to be able to take care of themselves and my boys to be able to take care of themselves and not be dependent on nobody else.
yeah,
Now, I did teach my boys that a real man takes care of his wife. My wife doesn't have to mow the lawn. My wife doesn't have to do anything pretty much that she don't want to do other than she cleans the house, cooks,
right.
because a man's supposed to take care of all that, fixing the car and that. But a woman should know how to do that because if something happens to me, then she needs to be able to take care of herself.
Yeah. But, well, man, I think hopefully everything's
Hey,
good. Hillbilly.
it has been great talking to you, brother.
Yeah, you
Man, let me know in case Hillbilly gets busy. Let me know that if there's anything I can do to help out. So,
all right? I'll reach out to him.
all right, cool. Hey, and to everybody watching, I don't know how many people there are still.
12.
Doesn't tell me on my phone how many people still on. But I mean, we got 196 comments, so must have had quite a few views. But that's pretty cool. I want to thank every single person that commented. One of these days, I'll get internet at my house where I can do this with my computer and I can actually read the comments because I got to switch from this screen to the comment screen, and it just confuses me. I'm always afraid of hanging up on it.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I appreciate you, brother. And thank you for coming on with me. And to everybody that watched, thank you for listening to a dumbass old man rant. And I'll see y'all on the flip side.
All right, man. Take care of yourself, brother.
All right, bye.
All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna play this outro. Hopefully, it works. And y'all have a good evening. Spend time with your family. Love all y'all.
Lately, USA is getting scarier. Half of the Americans I see all hate America. They hate the cops doing their best to take care of us and kneel for the flag and salt the soldiers that we're burying. I'm tired of the pissing and complaining why you living in America if all you do is hate it. You think it's brave to take a stand against the nation? Real bravery is dying for the right so you can say it. Dear America, what happened to Americans? Apparently no one's aware or cares that it's embarrassing. It's arrogance. Our greatest enemy was always slavery and terrorists, and now it's people in the country trying to burn the heritage. I can't help it, I just seem to see the world different. It ain't Republicans or liberals, it's mental illness. The internet is only interested in left opinions. Cancel culture's got more power lately than the First Amendment. If you don't like it, leave. We will not defund police. We don't want no riots in our neighborhoods or in the streets. We respect freedom of speech. We protect what we believe. We don't want nobody dead, so please do not tread on me. In America, your freedom ain't free. In America, got soldiers dying overseas. So America, we say what we believe. My America, I want ever take a knee. Our freedom is the reason you can disrespect our flag. If my stars and stripes offend you, then I'll help you pack your bags. America. Does anybody know what the hell happened to the Patriots? Lately, this nation is so ashamed and hating itself. Did everyone forget that people died to pay for this? Ungratefulness, United States gave everything to you just to help. I just want to celebrate Thanksgiving with my family. I don't need your help to understand it was a tragedy. Can I just be thankful for my country eating happily without you trying to guilt me for the genocide and casualties? I can't help it, I just seem to see the world different. It ain't black or white, it's conflict designed by the system. I don't need your pronouns, all I see is men and women. Kids are taking pills for fun while people can't afford prescriptions. If you don't like it, go. Hate it, then don't call it home. We don't need no violence, got no time for all you radicals. Screw the status quo, we're not animals. I won't kneel for the anthem, cause the flag is what I'm standing for. In America, your freedom ain't free. In America, got soldiers dying overseas. So America, you can say what we believe. My America, I won't ever take a knee. Our freedom is the reason you can disrespect our flag. If my stars and stripes offend you, then I'll help you pack your bags. America. You can hate the government and still love the country. The fundamental values of America are country. Republicans and liberals are dumb, to put it bluntly. They're labels that they use to create chaos and corruption. You can know the history and still be proud of where you're from. Every flag around the world is covered in a little blood. We started out United States divided is what we've become. If home is where the heart is, you should show America some love. In America, your freedom ain't free. In America, got soldiers dying overseas. So America, you can say what we believe. My America, I won't ever take a knee. Our freedom is the reason you can disrespect our flag. If my stars and stripes offend you, then I'll help you pack your bags. America.
All right, everybody, salute. Y'all have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. Everybody pray for Hillbilly and his family. Rest in peace, Nana. We love you.